everyone, like you just said, my name is Charlotte and I'm a senior at Fletcher High School. Hey girls. Now, I don't have much time, so I'm going to get started and put you all through a little exercise. So if you could all close your eyes for me. Now, I want you to imagine you're at the beach, swimming in the ocean, going up and down in the water. You can feel the sun hitting your face, giving you a slight sunburn, but you're too happy to care. You can hear the waves crashing, and the seagulls and the surfers chattering nearby. And that's when you realize your legs are no longer keeping you afloat. So, in a panic, you start to flow your arms, trying to keep your head above the water, but you become tireless and your arms give out. So, you slowly sink to the bottom with no one around to hear or to save you. You suffer from a fatal drowning. Now, keep your eyes closed, and I want you to replay. Hold on, guys. Replay those events in your head. But now, oh, I think I forgot to mention this. Pretend you're in 6 feet of water, okay? Okay, replay that now. Okay, done? All right, now I want you to do that again, but instead of 6 feet of water, you're in 60 feet. Okay, now open your eyes if you haven't already, cheaters. And ask yourself the question, which situation was worse? Well, the short answer is neither. Each one is just as terrible as another. And I don't tell you this to scare you or to tell you that Jesus is going to pop up on the beach in his board shorts and save you from the depths of the ocean, but rather to provide an example as to why you should stop comparing yourself and your problems to others. Drowning in 6 feet of water is the same as drowning in 60. God doesn't compare us to others, so why should we? The truth is, we all do it. We look at our similarities and our differences, and we compare them to the people around us. This could mean our looks, where we are in our faith, our decisions, our actions, and so much more. However, God made us individually and with a purpose. This isn't a competition. In Ecclesiastes 4:4, Solomon says, "Then I observed that most people are motivated to success because they envy their neighbors. But this too is meaningless, like chasing the wind." Solomon's observations in the passage is connected to the Bible's teaching that we should work to please God and not others. When we follow God's recipe, an example of work will include an element of peace and of rest. If the only goal is beating our rivals, we won't allow ourselves to find the true joy and comfort in ourselves. And if we become addicted to comparing ourselves to our neighbors, then we will forget to enjoy life as it becomes more and more like chasing the wind. But I would like to mention that comparing yourself doesn't mean just to make yourself feel inferior or worse to another person. It could also mean that you think you're better than another person because of the way you look, act, or feel. However, in every situation, it elevates one person and puts another down, failing to recognize the many diverse graces of God that exist. The first person that comes to my mind when I think of comparing myself to another person is my sister, my older sister. Ever since we were little, I wanted to be exactly like her, and I remember specifically, it was Christmas of 2013, meaning I was just barely 9 years old, and my brother, my sister, and I all received DSs from none other than Santa Claus, and they were all the same except for one thing, the color. I got pink, my sister got blue, and my brother got red. Now, if you know anything about kids, you know this is a huge problem. So, I remember being so upset that I didn't get blue, solely because my sister got blue. Which in reality, this changed nothing about the DS itself. It had the same functions, could play the same games, all the same stuff, just looked differently. Which didn't make it, the blue didn't make it better than that one. I just wanted what she had. I also know that if I was the only one to get a DS, I wouldn't even have thought about the color whatsoever. Now, flash forward to this year, and since I'm a senior, I've decided where I want to go to college. Shout out FGCU, go Eagles. Sorry, Abby. So both my brother and my sister are students at Florida State University, which is a much harder school to get into with much higher credentials. So I put myself in this situation where I was thinking of all these scenarios in my head of having to tell my parents where I wanted to go or my friends, and thinking that the reactions would be bitter or disappointed. Which then I had to come to the realization that I had to let go of these comparisons specifically to my siblings and let God send me down the path that He designed specifically for me. Let go and let God. When God saw our struggles we faced here on earth, He had the same reaction to them all. He sent Jesus. And He didn't compare our problems to one another. They were all equal at the cross. So if God doesn't compare us to others, why should we? To end off, I want to ask you all the question, where do you feel like you're stuck in comparison? Is it looks, relationships, problems, or decisions? And are you just chasing the wind?